Hey y'all, this is Farasight Ferocity coming to you from the Riverside Studio, bringing you the Casa De Ludus podcast. It is Sunday, May 26th. Besides having to pick up half a tree's worth of limbs off the ground due to the storms last night, it's been a pretty good day. But enough on that. Today we have a very special guest. But first, let's hit you with a bit of news. Fortnite Status released a fix for a bug rendering players immobile and invincible upon exiting a vehicle. They also warn players about screen stutters still, however, after the fix, after exiting a vehicle. They are currently working on that particular bug. Activision recently confirmed they are working on Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Outside of a couple of trailers, not much has been released on the project. However, Activision recently confessed that they will give a full reveal immediately after the Xbox showcase. It's believed to take place in the Gulf War of 1990 to 1991. In wrestling news, Mariah May shocked the AEW world last night when she pulled off the most epic yet awkward move to distract her opponent. Last night, after being pinned on the ropes, Layla sized May up by aggressively walking into her. May answered back with a perfectly executed motorboat-style move, encapsulating Layla's face into her chest, shaking it rigorously, leaving Layla stunned in a fleshy, paralyzed stupor. May then followed up with an awkward dance to play it off. When AEW tagged May in the clip, she simply said, "This is how I will be handling all future conflict." Just goes to show that in wrestling, it's not about the horsepower in your Hemi, but about knowing when to shimmy. Get jiggly with it, y'all. For all you Crunchyroll fans, it was 5 years ago today that we got to see Leon fight the Beast Titan in Attack on Titan. It was really an epic battle. For Naruto fans, today is also Iruka Sensei's birthday. Destiny developer Bungie won a court battle against cheat site Aim Junkies in an unprecedented decision. The jury ruled on a game cheating case in favor of the game developer, making this a first. In an attempt to protect their gaming customers and communities, they took Aim Junkies to court. Aim Junkies is expected to pay almost $63,000 in damages. It's the estimated amount Aim Junkies has earned off of their cheats. David Schaefer, developer of Aim Junkies, tried to countersue Bungie for breaking into one of their computers, which the jury inevitably threw out. Mr. Schaefer says he aims to appeal the decision. Billionaire LeBron James gets scolded on Twitter for getting caught using the illegal streaming platform Stream East to watch conference finals while on the sidelines of a live basketball game. He is getting flack for not paying for subscriptions like for YouTube TV, ESPN, and etc. I'm sure the creators of Stream East are feeling the true power of LeBron James's rebound. Yikes. Tuesday, the 28th, streaming live on Twitch from the Xbox channel, the voice actor for main character of Hellblade will be joined by Aurora Music to play the game itself. The event is scheduled to go live 7 p.m. BST. Also, Ninja Theory, the developers of Hellblade 2, gets Microsoft's approval already for their next game. Apparently, there are no plans for Microsoft to close that studio. Well, that's it for the news today. Now we'll bring you to our guest segment, and our next guest we are bringing on now is a streamer known as Shellshock. Righty, we are here with the man himself. He is cool. He is my friend. He is the charismatic Shellshock. He is a content creator. You can find him on Twitch and YouTube. And some other stuff for sure. We'll get into that a little bit later. But as for right now, let's hand over the floor to Shellshock. And Shellshock, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Hey, how's it going? My name is Shellshock. I have been a streamer for, I think, close to 3 years now. Been going off and on sometimes. Most of the time I try to stay as active as possible, but every now and then you need a break. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I've been pretty active on Twitch. I have done a few YouTube videos every now and then. trying to get back into that. It's been a while since I've done it, but I need to get back to it. I really do. But yeah, so I started this right around the time COVID started. Just something to kind of pass some time. I had a friend that was streaming, and she kind of gave me the confidence to do it myself. And so I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
Mm.
And so here we are now.
Yeah. Actually, kind of how it was with me. Like, you kind of helped me get over that. Like, my cousin streamed, but it was just one of those things. But like, you actually like helped me get over my little fear of streaming. Actually, so that's pretty cool. So thank you for that.
Hey, no problem. No problem. I like to say we all kind of help each other out because, I mean, Knox, if it wasn't for Knox, man, I would not be streaming because he supplied, I mean, the computer I'm using is one that he loaned to me. One of the monitors that I'm using, he purchased for me. I believe he also pitched in on my headset that I use, it's at my Stream Deck, I think he pitched in on. So, I mean, I owe a lot to him. Spartan has been a big one as well. A friend of mine, Alicia, was big on that. Port tips, like everybody, just kind of Honey, you guys all just kind of help out, and I think that is part of what makes it fun, is having people who got your back, having people who are there to kind of keep you on track and kind of hype you up when you're kind of feeling like you may not have it. It's nice to have those people around. And yeah, if it wasn't for any of you guys, I would probably not be doing this for sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And like speaking of Knox, like a lot of people don't know this, but Knox is probably one of the kindest souls that anybody will ever meet. Like he's a sweetheart, pretty much. He's a
He
good
really
guy.
is. He really is. Growing up, he's one of those kids that the way he grew up, you would expect him to be just kind of a dickhead and like better than you kind of thing. He's never once been that way ever. Anytime I've needed something, he's always right there. If he's got it, he'll offer it, whether it be words of advice, whether it be compliments, whether it be equipment, whatever it is, he's always there.
Whenever you stream, what do you usually stream?
So my biggest game right now has been Fortnite, which is strange. It really is, because my entire life I've been one of those people where, yeah, I would play Halo with my buddies, or I would play Mortal Kombat, some fighting games and stuff, but I was never really big into like PvP games. I'm
Mm.
more into the linear, like, Batman Arkham games, or Far Cry, or heck, Gears of War, the campaign, things like that. I was big into, and of course, Gears of War is my number one game, like, franchise. I love it. But my brother and a couple of my friends were like, "Hey, you should play Fortnite." I was like, "Nah, it's not really my thing. It looks kind of childish. Like, I don't know."
Mm.
And one day I played it, and I got 7th place, and I was like, "You know what? I think I could do better. I think I could win. I think I could win." And I just kept playing and kept playing, and then eventually I just got hooked on it,
Mm.
and it became that number one game for me to stream. It's one of those games that I've kind of built my community around. My whole community is literally just, it started with people who played Fortnite, and it's kind of branched out to other things as well. But yeah, Fortnite has been number one in my gaming life.
I love Fortnite. It's awesome. Like you were saying, the community thing. Like you can play with all the people in your chat. It's a very can't think of the word community based game. What is the word I'm
It
thinking of?
it
But
really is. I know what you're talking about. It really is. It's one of those games that it's got something for everybody. And I think part of it is it's a game that doesn't take itself too serious. So you can mess around, you can play a lot of games, you can goof off and just have the time of your life. And I really like that. I like the storyline effect that they have. There's been a storyline to Fortnite since the middle of chapter one. I believe actually chapter one, season two, maybe, is when the story started really picking up. But like, that's my thing. Like, people are always like, "Oh, what's going on with Fortnite?" And I'm like, "Dude, listen, the story's doing this. They're going here. They're doing this. They're saying that," and I love it. Beyond that, I don't know, man. It's just there's something infectious about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those games that so enjoy.
Yeah, the next season looks pretty promising. Have you seen anything on it?
I have, and I cannot wait. So, if you don't mind me giving a couple little like tidbits that I've learned,
Oh no, absolutely. Go ahead.
we are going to get some amazing stuff. So, we're going to have like this Mad Max themed, like just wasteland kind of, destruction everywhere sort of thing. We're getting a Magneto skin from Marvel.
Oh, nice.
We are getting a bunch of. We always have a meme skin every season, and this season is a pea pod. Looks like it might be fun. We're getting a Metallica, like a skin that's Metallica fused with the Rust Lord skin. We are getting some really cool vehicles. We're supposed to get a new version of the battle bus. Like, man, it's going to be great.
I've
Monster
seen it.
trucks. Oh,
Yeah, I seen a tweet about that Boston truck. There was a Boston truck running over a blue bus, and then
yep.
it said we about to get a new bus up in here. And no, it's just something along those lines. And then FN assistant. I'm not sure. I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
He's a tweeter. He it looks like he's like works with Fortnite possibly. I'm not sure exactly. He's definitely affiliated with them somehow. He was talking about and possibly a bringing the bus back to the wasteland. I guess you could drive the bus back in season 2 or something like that.
Yes, chapter 3 actually you could drive the bus, and it had like a cow catcher on the front, and it had a couple turrets on top, and it was fun. I think it was like 4 or 5 people could fit on it. So good.
Jeez. I
Yeah,
bet that was something people tried to fight over during that season.
yeah, a lot of fighting over it. People like me who I'm a sucker for like taking down a building and then just watching it fall from the sky. And you could do that with that bus. You could run through buildings and just take them out, and then just kind of look up at your handiwork as everything comes crashing down. Beautiful,
I
beautiful.
love doing that on Valheim. That was kind of pleasing to have a huge thing and to just take out the last support and everything just crumbles.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Looks awesome. So, what season did you start Fortnite off of? What season did you start
I
off of in Fortnite?
So I actually started from chapter 1, season 1, or actually pre-season 1, really. So when it was just Fortnite Battle Royale, I played. I would want to say it was about a week after the game came out is when I started playing, and I have not stopped since. I've had every single battle pass, and that's one of those things that I kind of brag about.
Mm.
Is that I have had every single battle pass that's come out, so I have every single battle pass skin that has come out. And I've just been, I don't know. It's one of those games where I started off being like, I'll never play this. Then playing it and being like, oh, you know what? This is kind of fun. And now I'm like, I'm obsessed. I am so obsessed. And then the fact they're bringing in like Marvel and DC and Star Wars and, Dragon Ball, all these different IPs that I absolutely love. And it's like, dude, how did this happen? How did I get hooked on a game that is now the biggest thing ever with the most IPs attached ever? It's just, I don't know. It's I can't say enough good about the game.
Yeah, I recorded some news actually before this. Um, there was also a brother Brotherhood of something skin coming out in Fortnite, the T60 armor or something like that. It looks pretty
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
What
I
was
can't
it?
wait. The Fallout one.
Yeah, what was what the Brotherhood's called? Brotherhood of the
Um,
Fallen, maybe, or Brotherhood of something?
I cannot remember now. I
Dang it,
knew
me
it, and
either.
then you asked, and I can't remember it. But yeah, it's from Fallout. They're like the soldiers that wear the power armor. And yeah, it is going to be sick. It's looking like you might be able to customize it. I'm not sure,
That's
but
cool.
I did see multiple different color schemes and variants. So, I mean, there's been several seasons where they've given us things we can customize, like an umbrella, a Maya skin, different things. It would be nice if one of those was if one of those was the power armor. That would be sick.
Yeah, I love how like you could see the storm coming from a distance. I just noticed that today when I logged in. I was like, wow, you can see the sandstorm off in the distance.
Yes.
It looks
Yeah.
ominous. I was just sitting there staring at it. I wanted to make a screenshot and kind of make it look ominous. It just looked really freaking cool. I can't wait. I'm
Epic
excited. It
Epic is
is.
pretty darn good at that. They are really good at building hype for things. Which, fun fact, like I said earlier, Gears of War is my like number one IP franchise game ever.
Mm.
Like the storyline to it, there's not a game out there that I would rather have ever played. Like I loved it more than Halo. and it was actually originally made by Epic Games, who now makes Fortnite. So it's Epic Games has always been in my favor, I guess you could say.
What's something that your streaming path created for you that you didn't expect? Like an opportunity.
Honestly, a lot of things have come out of this, and I would say probably one of the best is my community.
Mm,
The people that I associate with on this community, whether it be people who were already friends, whether it be other adults who I have started to be friends with, like Honey and Pork Tips, Alicia, all these people that I did not know IRL, and now I consider to be some of my best friends, all the way down to the kids that were in these communities that look up to us, and like my buddy Lightning, his son Floss Boss, or Flair, Blastcar's been, and he's one of my OGs. Him and Flair both are my OG followers. Like, I'm pretty
mm,
sure, if I'm not mistaken, Blastcar was like one of my first 3 followers, and they've stuck
nice.
around this whole time. I I, I owe a lot of my success. And I'm not a big streamer by any means, but I owe what little bit of success I do have to the people that have helped me build this community, and I'm grateful for every single one of them. And I would say, so that's probably the biggest thing. Yes, when I get a payout, that's freaking awesome.
Mm,
And when I get new followers, that's great. But I would say the biggest thing ever is having all of these people who are here for me. They're here to watch me stream. They're here to be part of this community. We do movie nights occasionally. We do a lot of gaming together, and it's just, I don't know. It's like, it's awesome to see. And a lot of them, like I said, a lot of them were kids. They were. I want to say Blastcar, when I first met him, he was probably 14, 15.
mm,
And these guys are like, they're almost adults now. Like, I've got to pretty much watch them grow on their own. And even then, they're streaming too. Like, Blastcar he's streaming as well every now and then. And
mm.
so to see that, and see that I kind of had a hand in maybe influencing that a little bit, giving people the idea that, hey, you know what? I could be a streamer, because other people did that for me.
Yeah.
And so I would say that's probably definitely the biggest thing that streaming has done for me, is help me build relationships with people who I otherwise would never have got to meet or talk to or anything. And like I said it a million times, but yeah, I'm extremely grateful for that.
Yeah. What's the biggest challenge that you faced streaming?
The biggest challenge, there's a couple of them. The biggest challenge, one, staying relevant. Streaming is a very competitive thing. If you go even a week without streaming, you're going to get passed by somebody who's streaming longer, or who's actually streaming to more people, or whatever. So I would say staying relevant is a big struggle. But probably the biggest challenge is overcoming my self-doubt. I am one of those people that someone could be like, "Hey, man, I'm doubting myself. I'm having problems. I wish I could be confident in my abilities," and I could be like, "Dude, no, you got this. You got this." But then when it comes to myself, I'm always down on myself a lot, and streaming is that way. So I'll have a stream come up where I've got 4 people that show up, you know,
Mm,
and I'm just like, yeah, maybe I should just give up all this. I'm not growing. I don't feel like I'm putting out the kind of content that these people want to watch, and I would say that's probably my biggest struggle, is that it's the proverbial you're your own worst enemy kind of thing. And yeah, I would say that's it.
fair. That's completely fair right there. And what's the most important lesson that you've learned in your streaming career?
Most important lesson by far is to appreciate everything. I see a lot of streamers out there that their stream is it's it's really just all about them kind of thing.
Mm,
And the best thing I can say is that you need to appreciate everything. Appreciate every single person that shows up. Appreciate every follow, every like, every subscription, every second that somebody is in your stream. appreciate it, because those people, no matter what their life has, no matter what they have done, they are there to watch you. And, you could say that that's all, it's all based on your content you're putting out, but a lot of that has to do with appreciating your viewers and your friends. And that's why, like, with my streams, I always end them with, I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all, because I want them to know that it's more than them just watching me. It's about the fact that they are there for me. They are there. They got my back. They're the ones. They're the reason that I stream. I know, like Honey, for instance, she always calls herself a selfish streamer because she does it for herself, which is true. But at the same time, she also does it. She does it for us too. And like my Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights would be pretty empty if it wasn't for her streams. So yeah, I would just say the biggest lesson I've learned is to be appreciative, because I know a lot of people that used to watch me that don't even. I think most of them have left the server, or they just for whatever reason don't watch. And in the moment, it's hard to fully appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's hard to. It's one of those where they say you don't know what you got till it's gone kind of things, and that's unfortunately true. So yeah, definitely just appreciate everything and everyone around you.
Who has been the most influential person in your streaming career?
Well, that again it's a big one. So again, obviously there's the short answer of the people who told me I could do it. My friends, the viewers that I have. But also another big one was a streamer by the name of Muselk. He doesn't actually stream much anymore. He mostly does YouTube videos. But I had watched him ever since he played TF2, Team Fortress 2, and I always was like, man, I want to be like this guy. I want to be able to stream. I want to be able to make YouTube videos that make people laugh and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to be just like that. So that's kind of, in a way, what I originally modeled my streaming career after, was Muselk. And if you've never checked him out, he's an Australian YouTuber. One of the most funny people I think I've ever seen. And yeah, so I would say that besides my friends, besides my viewers, definitely he would be a big influence.
How do you, as a streamer, tackling life and streaming and all this stuff at the same time, how do you play it for rest and self-care? How do you take care of yourself during it all?
That's a tough one. That is a very tough one. And actually that's something I've been struggling with a lot here lately, which is why if you notice, my streams have been few and far between. I get maybe one a week if I'm lucky. And it's just because there's a lot of things outside of streaming that take up my time. I would love nothing more than to be a full-time content creator. But right now, with the growth that I have for streaming and pertaining to that versus the things I have in my day-to-day life, it's not plausible for that to happen. So obviously there's going to be a lot of sacrifice on the streaming side of things for what happens, in my day-to-day life. Lot of, I'll kind of be a little more, what's the word, candid, I guess. A lot of issues right now with my health, a lot of issues with like finances, just, things at work being a little more stressful this time of year because of the fact that my job that I have is losing a big component of it, which is causing more flack from our customers and things like that. So it's tough. It is very tough, but you have to prioritize. You have to put things in order of what's more important. Obviously, health and home come before everything. So I would have to say, if you're going through troubles, if you're having issues where you're finding it hard to budget your time, prioritize those things that are more important, but also understand that you have to have time. Even if you're not streaming, you have to have time to do what you love. And in my case, that is video games. In my case, that is streaming, because when I play video games, I love having an audience. I love having people that I can talk to, that I can bounce ideas off of, that I can banter back and forth with. Like that is my stress relief. And I will say when if a week goes by that I don't get some kind of gaming in or some kind of interaction with my friends, my people, then it makes me a very a very unhappy individual. So yeah, I would definitely say it's definitely a task trying to keep up with it all. But if you can make it work, if you can do it, just make sure you keep on top of your happiness.
Yeah. What is your favorite funny story about yourself?
Oh
That
man.
doesn't have to pertain to streaming either. I can go on. I can go. That's a broad spectrum right there.
There's been so many. Me and Knox and a bunch of our other friends, Spartan and a few others, we had this channel on YouTube called Shenanigans, and it was essentially like a toned down version of Jackass. We did some crazy stuff, and I was the guinea pig. I was the guy who did everything. If it needed to be done, I was going to do it because I
Mhm.
was the guy that, a buddy of ours, his name was Derek Spriggs. He would sit there and he would tell us, or he'd sit there and look at me and he'd go, "You're not man enough. You can't do this." So I would prove him wrong and I would do it. And one instance in particular, they dragged me behind a golf cart on my stomach. Um, which was
Wow.
amazing. It was hilarious. Another time we did a skit that we called, it's going to sound horrible, we called it Baby Killer. And what it was I had a baby that was made out of a watermelon and a cantaloupe. And so the first like 5 minutes of this video, you can still find it on YouTube as well. The first 5 minutes of this video is just me like dancing around and pretending like this is my baby. And it's all to a Beyonce song where she's talking about being a mother or something. So that kind of adds to it. And it culminates with Spriggs punching my baby in the face and the whole head, the cantaloupe exploding. And then Knox and Spartan jumping out of a tree and devouring it as if they were some sort of cannibals.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it sounds pretty morbid, but if you watch the video, it's pure hilariousness. I don't even know
Yeah,
if hilariousness is a word, but that's what it is.
it is
Um,
here. It's a word here.
but yeah, so stuff like that. Trying to think. There are a lot of stuff that is just kind of like you had to be there kind of moments. But man, if you go back and look at any of my streams, I guarantee you could find tons of stuff there too. But yeah, I'm trying to think of a really funny one. I'm trying to think here. I would have to say some of the more funny stuff. I don't know, just little off the wall things. Like I have a habit of like just we'll be sitting around somewhere and I'll take something. One time I used to take the little the little bulbs that you get out of the vending machines that have like little toys in them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would take those and I would like put them in my eye, like around my eyeballs, and like make weird faces. Just stuff like that. I love to be goofy. I'm always in like Honey's stream, cracking jokes. Like the other day, she's playing mortuary assistant, and I'm looking at, I'm telling her, I'm like, oh my gosh, go look at the guy's chest again. Go look at his chest again. She's like, what did I miss? What did I miss? So she goes back over and she's looking at his chest, and I redeem one of the sound effects that says hard nipples, and it's just hilarious,
Their sound effects
Or
crack me up.
yes, they do. And I don't know, I love making people laugh. So yeah, you can pretty much find me just about anywhere trying to do something to make somebody laugh.
What advice would you give your 20-year-old self?
Man,
A long time ago, I know. For
yeah,
both of us.
14 years ago for me.
15 for me.
I would
That's a long time.
see. I would have to say, chill out. Stop worrying too much about what other people think, and instead do what you want to do. Because back in that time frame, in particular, I had two goals in my life that I really wanted to do, and I let both of them go because I was worried about what other people would think. One was being a firefighter, and the other was being a professional wrestler because man, that was my goal. I went to a wrestling school for it, and I gave it up because I was like, what if other people don't? What if other people in my life think this is dumb? Like, plus, injuries, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I would have to say just chill out and quit worrying about what other people think.
Yeah. See, back to Fortnite. Which do you prefer to play? Do you prefer to play no builds or zero builds or builds?
So originally, as soon as zero builds came out, I loved it. I was like, sweet, I don't have to build anymore. I can be back to normal. But recently, Pork Tips got me back into build mode, and now I couldn't imagine going back to zero builds. I'll still play it if other people want to, because I'm a people pleaser. I like to have, I like to let people do what they want to do, and I will just go with the flow if it means somebody else is happy. But when I'm on my own or if I'm with certain people, build mode is the way to go. I've recently been trying to get better at building. Pork Tips has helped me with that, and yeah, I would say I'm getting kind of better at it. I'm not like ninja level, but I'm getting there.
And by
I can hold my own.
others, you mean your chat community, correct? Because you're pretty good about playing along
Yes,
with your community in
yes,
chat.
yes.
Yeah.
And I used to do a lot of viewer games. I haven't done very many lately because I get so few viewership that I want people to have fun. And if I've got enough people that'll play, then I do viewer games and stuff all the time. So yeah, it's definitely like if I get a bunch of people with me, it's like, dude, let's do zero build. Okay, let's do it. You know,
I think that's the way to go. Because like, if I want to watch somebody play a game, I could also just go to YouTube, you know,
right,
and just watch a recording and stop it whenever I need to. You don't have to worry about missing something. Whereas
right.
Twitch, um, sometimes you can barely talk to them. But one thing you can definitely do is you can definitely play. That depends on like how big the community is. Like Zach Roar, his community is way too dang big to actually like
Exactly, yeah.
talk in his chat. But
And I think that's
but
another thing too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
oh, you're good.
that's another good point is I'm kind of glad to have a smaller community. I see a lot of YouTubers that their viewers are fighting to have their messages seen. They're fighting to be heard by this streamer. And I like that my streams are like small and calm and chill enough that I can read every message. I can have a personal conversation with each individual person. So I don't mind having a smaller stream. As much as it would be nice to be making the big bucks as they call it.
Mm.
I do enjoy having that smaller audience because it's more of a more intimate connection. It's um, more like having friends as opposed to having viewers.
Yeah. So it's safe to say in Fortnite you play a lot of four-man teams, right?
I do. I do. I'll play solos whenever if I'm on by myself. Yeah, most of the time it's more than that. I very rarely play duos because most of the time I got two or three people that want to jump into a game, and I tell you, man, I love it. I would rather play duos, squads, trios. I would rather do any of that than solos, just because you get more. It's not just quiet. When
Mm.
I'm by myself, I'm in the zone. Even though I'm streaming, I'm quiet because I'm focused on the match. When I got people with me, I can bounce off of them. We can banter back and forth, crack jokes. It's a good time.
Tell me about the a time when you had like the most like absolute fun on one of your streams. Like no other stream you've ever had has ever topped this
Oh
moment.
my
If you
gosh!
can have if you have one.
So one moment in particular was I keep mentioning this person named Alicia. I still consider her a friend. We haven't been as close lately as we used to, but I do consider her a friend, and I consider her to be one of the biggest reasons for me being a streamer in the first place. But one time, we're all hanging out. We're on my stream, just chilling, and she talks to a couple bigger streamers um, by the name of Boomer. I don't know if you know who Boomer is. Boomer GG. He's a big Fortnite. He was a big Fortnite creator at the time, and he was really big in with Muselk and specifically Locky and stuff like that. So he
Mm.
was in with these bigger streamers and stuff, and she got him to come into my stream. Him and another guy. They came into my stream. They followed me. They subscribed. They played Zone Wars with us, which is an offshoot of Creative Battle Royale for Fortnite. And it was a lot of fun. Like they were talking with us and chatting, hanging out in VC with us, and it was such a surreal moment because to me these people are celebrities,
Mm.
and they not only took the time to talk to us, not only took the time to play a game with us, but also spent their money to subscribe to me.
Yeah. Pretty
And
cool.
so for me, that was a huge moment, and it was so much fun just running around, hanging out, just cracking jokes and all that. It was great. Aside from that, I would say another time was when a bunch of us got together and did what we call the Meme Olympics, which we'll have to get you in on that sometime. So the Meme Olympics is where we do essentially you jump into a game as a squad, and then you come up with the most off the wall, goofy things to do. For instance, one of them is like first one to die. And so we're all like trying to figure out who can die the fastest. One of them is like land and then emote. You have to do a traversal emote and emote as far across the map as you can before you get killed. Some of them would be like each person does a sky base, and you got to see who the last one shot down is. Last one alive without moving through the zone, things like that. And it was just the jokes that were being made, and I don't know, it was so much fun. And then the biggest thing I would say is probably we do a lot of hide and seek on my stream, and I always like to say I'm the hide and seek world champion when it comes to Fortnite, because back when Alicia was streaming, we would do there, and I had over 100 wins. So I was like, you know what, I want to do this on my stream, and it's so much fun. I would get everybody involved, and I'm a terrible seeker. I'm a good hider, terrible seeker. And so I'm like, people are like hiding in like plain sight, and I'm passing them by, and so they're all laughing and joking because I'm blind as a bat, you know. And but yeah, I would say those are some of the most fun things, and some of the things that I will always remember.
That'd be pretty cool. Like, I can just imagine, like, if my like celebrity streamer, which is Zach Rohr, if he came onto my stream, I would shit myself.
It's like I said, it's a surreal moment. It's one of those things where you're like, this can't be happening. Like, there's no way that so and so actually came into my stream, you know.
Yeah.
And it's really cool, and it's one of those like what I call like a claim to fame kind of thing. Like, yeah, this streamer came in and subscribed to me and played games with us, and you know, stuff like that. And I don't know if to them if they knew how big of a deal it was, but if they're watching this, I don't know, you know, but if they are, or if they didn't know, I want them to know that it made a huge impact on my streaming career and in my life in general. So
where can we expect to see in the next 5 years?
you know, that is a very good question, and I that's another one of those that I really thought about when I heard in the other videos, and I was like, you know, I have ideas on this. Honestly, I think for me personally, a better way to answer this question would be less about where do I see myself in 5 years, because realistically in 5 years I see myself being exactly where I'm at right now, doing the same things, same way. For me, a way I would rather answer it would be to say, where do I want to be in 5 years?
That works.
And for me, where I want to be in 5 years would be, I want to be the best that I can be as streaming, but also as a human being. I want to have the most success that I possibly can in the streaming world. I want to be in 5 years. I want to look back and see how far I've come, and see the success that I've had, see the people who have stood by me through that time. And so, you know, if I have my way in 5 years, I will be a successful streamer. I will be a happy human being. I will be a better version of what I am right now. And I think that will come with growth. That will come with lots of change in who I am and how I handle myself. And I think that will be a lot of that will come from the association that I have with the people around me. I feel like everybody I talk to, everybody I hang out with, everybody I associate with makes me a better person, and I'm very grateful for that. And so I think in 5 years that I hope to be at the top of my game. I hope to be as successful as I possibly can.
Going from shell shock to super shock.
Yes, yes.
Speaking of which, where's your name? Where does shell shock come from? Like where did you come up with that?
Ah, okay. So the Shellshock name, growing up, I have always been a superhero nut. Okay, I have been obsessed with superheroes: Marvel, DC, Power Rangers, Ninja Turtles. You name it, I love it. And specifically as a kid, growing up, Ninja Turtles was and still is a major part of my life. And so growing up, I always, when people would be like, "Oh, what do you want to do? What are you going to be when you grow up?" I'm going to be a superhero. I'm going to be a superhero. So growing up, I kept trying to come up with a name. And it was like every name I ever came up with was always taken. I was like, I'm going to be Super Kid. Well, there's already a Super Kid. Okay, well, I'm going to be this. Oh, well, there's already this. And then one day, my dad was like, why don't you pick a name that plays homage to the things that you love? And so I was like, Shell Shock. Shell Shock, that's the perfect one because it pays homage to the Ninja Turtles. It's a name that can kind of, as a superhero, you could strike fear into the hearts of your enemies.
Mm.
For instance, my motto that came with it was strike hard, strike fast, and leave them shell shocked.
Nice.
And as like that could almost sound kind of like a villainous thing, like because when you think of shell shock, you typically think PTSD, but in this instance, I look at it more as like I want to shell shock people with what I do. I want to leave them speechless.
Mm.
I want people to like. I don't want the shell shock name to be like a fear mongering kind of thing. I would rather it be like, oh my gosh, this guy is awesome. They're
You want to leave
shocked at how awesome.
you want to leave an everlasting impression.
Yes, exactly. And the shell shock has persisted since I was 10 years old until now. Now it's literally become my persona. It's become my character. It's become my alter ego because the shell shock that people see on my streams or in the comic books that I try to write or things like that is a little different than the man you see on the streets. The Mike that you see, on a daily basis. It's literally as if shell shock is my superhero identity in a way.
Before we go, though, I've got one more question before we start wrapping this up. But what is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote, and I'm so glad you asked this because this quote actually is a major component in my life. It's something that I would, if it wasn't so long, I would love to have it tattooed on me.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's actually from a comic book, specifically from my favorite character, Green Arrow. He is one of my favorite heroes. He is actually my favorite hero of all time. And it is a quote, and the quote goes, "This is who I am. This is what I am. Come hell or high water, if I deny this, I deny everything I've ever done, everything I've ever fought for." And when I first read that in a comic, I was like, I love that. And that is not just a quote, that is a motto. That is a mantra to live by. And so that's how I look at everything in life is, this is what I am, this is who I am, and there's no denying that. If I hide any aspect of who I am, then I'm not being truthful to myself or to anyone else.
Mm.
And everything I've ever done means nothing at that point. So yeah, that is my favorite quote, and man, it is a great one. And I've been for years trying to decide like how I could do it as a tattoo, how it would work, and still yet not being able to find anything. Yeah, it's definitely one of those quotes that I would love to have it on my grave when I die. Like,
Yeah, that's a
and
good
yeah,
quote.
it's great. It's really great.
I'm definitely going to add that quote to my book here for myself. Well, Shell Shock, we don't have too much time left. So before we get out of here, why don't you go ahead and share your handles real quick for everybody so they can follow you and everything.
Yeah, definitely. So you can pretty much find me on Twitter or X, Discord, Twitch, YouTube. You can find me on any of those platforms, and they're all should be under Shellshock _072. I stream on Twitch. we'll try to start posting more regularly videos on YouTube, TikTok. I'm also on TikTok under the same name. I post little clips on there. And then, of course, Discord. You can join my Discord channel. It's called Shellshock Strike Force. You can find the link in my Twitch chat. And then my X account, I post on there for a lot of things: Twitch stuff, streaming things, my wrestling stuff. It's all on there. So, yeah, those would be my things.
Well, listen, my friend, it was awesome having you on. I love talking to you. I love watching you. You have amazing content. My son loves watching you. I'm pretty sure he loves watching you more than me, actually.
Hey, he's awesome. Your kids are awesome. Having like watched them in your streams and having them in my streams, they're great kids, and you're raising them well.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. But yeah, you all make sure to follow the Shell Shock. Like I said, he's awesome. He's a good guy. He's a loving husband, and he's got good content, and he's good for everybody. He's E-rated. I promise y'all.
Yeah.
But again, thank you very much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, Bubba.
Hey, thank you, man. Anytime.
Before we leave here today, I just want to let you all know that I am so thankful for everyone who listens, thankful for everyone who follows. If y'all appreciate the content, please check out my linktree and then follow all of my handles to keep up to date. It's really easy, it's quick, and it really helps out. But I hope to see you all on the next podcast. Game on. Peace.